And now, podcasting from the sun-scorched desert Southwest, weighing in at a combined total of 340 pounds, Brad Winchester, Tyler McDowell-Blanken, are Gimmick Infringement.
Welcome, everybody, to the Gimmick Infringement Podcast. I am Brad Winchester, and with me, as always, is my tag team partner, Tyler McDowell-Blanken. Tyler, it's Sunday. It's currently sunny outside. Clouds have left. Clouds are on their way. How you doing today?
It's a beautiful day. I'm doing great, man. The week was super busy. I was telling you that I was on the road visiting schools. What is it? Kissing babies, shaking hands, all of that good stuff. I'm so happy to be here with you. How have you been, B? What's new?
Busy week as well. Always going to be busy. I really want to be in the theater, but I wanted to start with talking about Cody Rhodes. Now, last week, I said I still don't understand, and I still frankly don't understand how he in particular became the number one guy in the WWE. Outside of charisma, his physical presentation of I am America, kinda, has always been baffling to me that it's universally beloved when we can't do that in everyday life. So I just feel like it's confusing to me.
We were talking about
1776
tees as well.
Yes.
I was thinking about that yesterday, actually. I was thinking about that point you brought up last week. I was like, why do I instantly have so much vitriol for the guy at the White Dove shop in the black 1776 tee?
Yeah.
But I love me some Cody Rhodes.
Yeah. I think it's because the vocal messaging is different, and we've never heard the guy in that black tee understand it. Cody Rhodes is also unique, right? Like, that's a custom jacket for a custom presentation, and it's a thing he does, versus that guy is trying to be a part of a club, a weird culty club.
Right. We know more about Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
Brandy, seems like a good dude by all accounts. Yeah. There's levels to this.
But at the same time, so I'm also a big fan of 1776. Just 1776 though.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not putting anything else out there. I think the Revolutionary War is incredible. It's an amazing thing to look back at, but it's not part of my branding. It's weird.
Right. That does not extend to January 6th. You're
no, it does not.
Of January, which sometimes I think there's some. Oh, yeah. We're on the same page.
Yeah.
Please
also,
continue cooking. I got you.
People are like, oh yeah, 1776 because it was a revolution. It's like, yeah, but that one was, won. So you're just a terrorist. Okay. The Cody Rhodes thing, though, I was thinking about it this week, and now he is arguably the most beloved superstar in the last 20 years. I think he passed up Cena. I think he lapped him because he's not being booed the way Cena was. Cena was half booed until he went away, right? Like, he went away to do acting stuff and do projects in Hollywood. And now when he comes back, he's just getting pops and everybody's appreciating John Cena. But at the time, it was like half the crowd is booing for Cena, half of them were cheering for Cena, right? Cody's been pretty much just cheered for his entire time back. I can't think of a moment in WWE where he's been booed with this presentation. And now The Rock has come back. We're finally getting that match. And people are Team Cody. I know the question's coming, so I'm not going to get into it, but we want Cody trended number one worldwide this week. Worldwide. That is incredible. So I think it needs to be stated that it's amazing, it's incredible, and it's overshadowing the fact that Vince McMahon is a piece of human garbage. And we can't forget that now the FBI, the federal government, is now involved in the investigation, and it's not just a lawsuit. And that part got kind of lost in the Rock Cody shuffle, that this thing is ballooned because of how massive a piece of crap Vince McMahon is. So, excuse me, allegedly. I'm not a journalist. He's a piece of crap.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's we're gonna get into it. It seems like that was also part of the decision making. Reportedly, allegedly, was how do we get the news off of Vince and
Yeah.
back onto the product, even if it's negative publicity about this creative decision, that is greater than sign the fan base talking about Vince and
Right.
how much of an insidious, horrible person he is.
I love insidious.
I've been using that word. That's my word of 2024. Yeah, I love that word.
As I sit here and think about it too, I saw my face go slack when you're talking about it, and I feel like this. I'm starting to look more and more like Donald Sutherland, so I need to hit the gym or something, hydrate, do something, man. It's not good. I'm not in a good state of being right now, but
we could all use more hydrating. Yeah, I'm with you.
But my state of being might be messed up. But we're going to talk about a different state today. We haven't talked about in a hot minute. It's time for the state of 19 media. So cue up the music.
Late breaking news from the world of 19 media.
Have you heard of the mysterious appearance of Jesus as a shadow on a freezer? What would you do if you got stuck at the bottom of an outhouse for 3 days? It's disgusting. Join Carmen and Jessica, the Small Town USA, for the latest episode, The Town That Googled Florida Man.
Do you love fantasy golf? The Mojo King, 19 Media co-founder, is always dropping knowledge on his show, Hidden Gems Golf. Check out the latest installment to hear his thoughts on the Pebble Beach Pro-Am.
Desmond broke down the legendary Wu-Tang Clan song Cream on the latest episode of Hip to the Games. Follow his show to hear an in-depth analysis of all things hoops and hip-hop.
Yeah, love Des. There's never a dull moment in Lakerland. Join Ricky, Kwame, and Omar of Late Night Lake Show to hear their thoughts on the latest trade rumors surrounding the organization. Is D'Angelo Russell staying? Is Austin Reeves untouchable? Tune in and find out.
Speaking of the association, Warren and Cal of the Baseline NBA podcast, shout out Call, interviewed NBA veteran and Houston Rockets color commentator Ryan Hollins. Join the duo each week as they discuss the latest news and notes around the league.
While we're speaking of Warren, Brad, a big shout out to him for the work he's doing over at Dope Interviews. The man just stays busy. It's incredible how he uses his 24 hours in the day. He's awesome. He welcomed Paul Landano, associate producer of Dreek Champs, on the latest episode. Check out their fun conversation today.
Also, shout out to Warren and Cal for their nomination for the Sports Podcast Awards over at the Baseline. Pretty awesome. Show some love to the newest member of the 19 family, Sirius XM's Gerald Brown. Check out his weekly show, Heavy in the Paint, where Gerald welcomes guests from the worlds of pro sports and entertainment. Previous guests include Penny Hardaway, Charles Oakley, and many more recognizable names. Tune in. I'm glad you included Penny so that you didn't have to have me contend with his name and screw it up. Because Anthony is hard to say sometimes. I get mixed up in my I don't want to mess that up. Penny's easier.
Love me some Penny Hardaway. Absolutely. Yeah. Love us some Gerald Brown. It's great to have him on the team. And finally, much love to the one and only Mike Steff. Yes, the multi-time GI guest and fellow podcast host. Check out his shows, plural. Mike co-hosts Hidden Gems Football with Mo each week as they tackle the betting odds of every single NFL game. But that's not all. Be sure to check out his solo show, The Salty Thoughts of Mike Steff, for passionate commentary on the latest news in sports, pro wrestling, and New York politics.
Man, we have not done that in a while, and it felt really good. We're doing a lot of cool stuff here. There's something for everybody. There's something for everybody. As I hear a Christmas themed mat go off in the entryway while my family tries to stealthily make their way into the house, banging on the loudest possible thing they could find on the way in. 19, we need a studio down here at Rare Farms.
We do. Love your girls, man. I also love me some pro wrestling, Brad. You kind of forecasted this. We got to talk WWE. We got to talk the biggest news of the weekend. Are you ready for my question? I see.
That's a yes. I muted while things were. I was shaking my head. Yes.
For the
audio audience. It was great audio there. Me shaking my head. Yes.
Yeah, shout out to our audio fans, our listeners. So, Brad, let's get into it, man. I think I know what you want to talk about. I think I know what our listeners and viewers want to hear. Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes stood face to face on Friday Night SmackDown. Cody made his intentions clear. He wants Roman's title, but he wants to take everything from the tribal chief. Cody said he's received counsel and will not challenge Roman at Mania. Cue the most electrifying man in sports entertainment. The Rock appeared, Cody left, and we ended the show with the presumptive Night 2 main event of WrestleMania set in stone. The Rock versus Roman Reigns. Since then, as you pointed out, hashtag We Want Cody trended worldwide, and thousands of fans clicked the thumbs down on the YouTube video of this segment. Here's my question. How are you feeling about the last 72 hours in WWE?
So let's go back. All right. This is why I didn't think Cody should win the Rumble. Partially. What are we doing here? Cody should have won last year. That's how I feel right now. Cody should have won last year. They pissed away that momentum. Yes, it will be more of a grind and it'll take longer to get there now. And maybe that moment will be the same, but that moment will never be the same outside of WrestleMania. It just won't be. I don't care where you go. You can do it in Perth. You can do it in Wembley. You can do it wherever you want to do it. It doesn't matter where you do it. It's not WrestleMania. If he does it at Survivor Series or SummerSlam or I don't even know what's the big one next after this besides Mania. So what's after Mania? Like
Backlash,
Crown Jewel Part 20?
Oh gosh, I forgot about those shows.
Like, do you have them win it in Saudi Arabia? Give it to the Saudi fans for the American nightmare to win in Saudi Arabia?
We could see that happening, couldn't we? I don't
100%.
think that's far fetched at all. Given the contract with Saudi Arabia and how every time there's some sort of like must see spectacle, whether it's Roman Reigns versus Logan Paul or Goldberg versus Undertaker, like there's always something where, oh my gosh, I just need to see how this plays out. I could totally see Cody winning over there. Not that I want that, but I think that's a possibility here.
I just find it weird that I find it weird that in the women's division, you have Bayley winning the Rumble, and one of the people is a champ in your faction. The other person's Rhea Ripley, and Rhea's basically going like, "I'm waiting for you to make your decision, but just know if you decide me, I'm going to wreck you." Where Roman and Seth
she's so cool. She's so cool right now.
She's the best.
Rhea Ripley, man.
She's the greatest women's star in wrestling right now.
We should just say that.
I love Toni Storm. I love Bayley. Nobody's even approaching Rhea Ripley right now. However, in the men's division, Roman and Seth are competing to who has to fight Cody, who gets to fight Cody. It's weird. They're like arguing over who. They're trying to persuade Cody to fight them. Both of them are. And they're like beefing with each other. Weirdly, Roman buried him.
Yes. How'd you feel about that?
I didn't love it. The exactly no pop part, I didn't love. I thought that was harsh.
I get the goosies. I remember that exact moment, Brad. He said Seth Rollins. Exactly. No pop. Continue.
I loved it. I loved it.
We know you're the man, but
as a heel, but you're burying the other champ in the company with that line, and
FUBU champ. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. So I didn't love that, but if him saying exactly no pop also garnered no pop, then to me that screams nobody's interested in that.
Mm-hmm.
Because also Seth's the last person that beat Roman Reigns. He just won by DQ. He didn't pin him. So
yeah,
I just yeah. So I think I'm having a hard time with this, Tyler. We've wanted Rock and Roman forever at Mania, which is why I said Cody shouldn't win at Mania if we're going to get Rock and Roman. he should win before then, take the title if that's what's going to happen. I thought at the Rumble would have been the match, Cody versus Roman at the Rumble. Have him win at the Rumble so that going into Mania, Cody's the champ and Rock and Roman can have their match and Cody can fight somebody else. LA Knight, somebody else. Doesn't matter who. But now we're at this point where it's Cody not winning. Roman's still the champ. He will remain the champ through Mania. And then eventually Cody will beat him after Roman beats the record. I'm sure that's what the play is here. But it's not going to be the same because like this feud at Mania with Seth Rollins. So Seth versus Cody 9 this year and in the last couple of years. Cody beat him in Hell in a Cell with a broken pec. So why are we seeing this again? It's stupid.
I don't want that at all. I know this is all, it's predetermined, it's scripted. We get that. Sure. But the idea of Seth after the run that Seth has had and kind of reestablishing him as being on the Mount Rushmore of WWE for him, and maybe this is just the
wrestler of the year, man.
Yeah. Maybe this is just the Seth Rollins standing me. I don't know, Brad. I think we're aligned on this. Maybe the idea of Seth losing for a 4th consecutive time to Cody Rhodes. I want Seth to have his Mania main event.
Yeah.
But I don't want him to get defeated, but I don't want him to lose to Cody again. And to your point, we already saw Cody beat him with a torn pec.
Yes.
That's not an ideal option for me. But then what is the Seth match at Mania if Punk is out? Is it Seth versus Drew? Is it a multi-man match? And what is the Cody Rhodes WrestleMania match? I mean, he ostensibly as a face of your company is repping the logo every week. He has to be in Philadelphia. Are we fantasy booking him against Okada, who we don't even know if he's going to be in WWE? Is it a match against? I don't know, Brad. Here's my question for you. Well, I already asked you my question. Here's a follow-up.
No, keep it going because this is the topic today.
This is the topic, and there was so much good on SmackDown. Bayley.
Oh, we're gonna get to it. Don't you worry. Okay. I knew what you were gonna ask, so
okay. I know you did. I was gonna switch it up, but then
yeah.
So, is there any chance if the IWC continues to be this vocal, and it seems like predominantly they are against this idea, they're about Cody getting his moment? Is there any chance, or what shot are you giving this to play out the way we want it to? Could you see this being a Daniel Bryan in New Orleans situation where maybe it becomes a triple threat, or maybe Rock Roman main events night 1, and then somehow we get Roman Cody night 2? Are you giving it any shot that the pushback becomes so loud and so you just can't ignore it that we are going to get Cody in the slot we want him in? Or do you think at this point, with the presser this week, with all that we know, there's no chance Cody leaves Philly with that title?
It depends, because everybody says let it play out. I think it's going to hinge partially on what happens on Raw this week, because Cody looked pissed. Like he looked like he wasn't pretending to be unhappy. So he's either the world's greatest actor, but we know Cody has kind of a bad poker face. So I think he looked legitimately upset that he had to pass it off to The Rock, and then The Rock stared him down. And I think it's because Cody was like, F this. I don't know if I buy all the reporting out there right now that The Rock had input, that Dwayne now being on the board was like, this is what we can do. Also, I want to beat Roman, is what the streets are saying. And by the streets, I think it's Meltzer. I don't know if I buy any of that. That does not seem super likely. I can see Triple H and I can see PR getting involved. I can see Nick Khan saying like we should pivot and try to get the heat off of McMahon because it's making the company look bad. So here's what we want to do for creative. And Rock probably said, yeah, I can do that for the company now that I'm invested in it. So I can see all of those things happening. And Brian Gewirtz and The Rock have a really strong relationship. And we know he was a writer for all the things, including WWE, for a long, long time.
Yeah, $7 Jones.
Yep. So I could totally see that happening. I can totally see him getting involved in, and maybe Gewirtz saying, here's a storyline we can do to get Cody to be built to that next thing. And from a business standpoint, looking ahead and going, well, what's that pay-per-view after Mania? because it's probably a nothing burger of a pay-per-view. How can we make that be the biggest thing? Oh, I know. That's when Cody can finish his story, because it's Backlash. But Backlash traditionally is a bunch of rehashed rematch bullshit from WrestleMania that nobody wants.
Last year's was an anomaly. My show of the year for WWE.
Yeah, it was great
in
last
Puerto
year.
Rico.
Yeah,
but
last year was great.
To your point, Brad, in years past, it's just been a retread of what we saw at Mania.
Terrible.
A B level premium live event. Then that's probably being kind.
And I love the idea of Backlash, but not, oh, we had that match, you won, I want another match because I think I could beat you. I don't want that at a pay-per-view. Do that on Raw. Give me a reason to watch your weekly product. Instead of building it toward Backlash where we get to see the same thing. Last year it was new stuff. And I think Backlash should be like a falling out of events that happen in Mania that lead to new feuds. Because Mania, I feel like, is the ultimate period at the end of a sentence show. Let's take all these feuds that have been going for a while and let's finish them there. And then we get fresh new stuff immediately after that. I don't know, that makes all the sense to me. But this Cody storyline, if we get anything fresh that comes out of Mania for him, is just going to elongate this already excruciatingly boring Roman Reigns run over the last year and a half. Basically, since the Sammy stuff ended, it's been not good. I skip those segments. I hate to say it. I just get them. I get them on Twitter. I get them on Instagram because I don't need to watch all that unless Cody's involved or Rock's involved. Because otherwise it's like the LA Knight, the Fatal 4-Way stuff. I did not care about that at all because it was so clear that Roman was going to win that I was trying to convince myself that there was a possibility that other people could, because it's a Fatal 4-Way.
Mm-hmm.
But of course,
Randy wins. Randy versus Cody at Mania.
Yeah. Well, I thought LA Knight, but LA Knight hasn't won anything. So I no longer believe LA Knight to be a viable candidate for any kind of winning because he never wins anything. I believe they've built him to be this maximum over guy that doesn't win things.
With the Slim Jim sponsorship.
Yeah. And that's great for him business wise. But as a fan, I want to see him win because that's my guy. So don't we want to see Cody? What has Cody won since he's been back?
So true, man. I had two final thoughts on this.
The Royal Rumble twice, but
which is a big deal. But it's supposed to lead to Mania. This isn't a Money in the Bank.
It led to Mania
Money in
for
the
Rock.
Bank situation. You win Rumble. You main event WrestleMania. You pointed at the sign.
Maybe that's what he does, Tyler. Maybe that's what Cody does from here forward. Maybe that's what he does. He wins Elimination Chamber and Money in the Bank. And then he just like, I'm cashing in my title contract. Roman pins him clean as a sheet in the middle of the ring. And then he busts out the Money in the Bank and then beats him for the title. I don't know. I don't know what to do here. Like,
I don't either, but I have two final pro wrestling. I have two final thoughts. One, you're absolutely right. This is probably the 30th time we've said this on air. This is another reminder that Cody should have won last year in LA. If there are folks who are still happy with Roman retaining last year, I think they're just doing it for clicks or for trolling, which is kind of funny and a little insidious. But Cody should have won last year. You're absolutely right. I think this is indicative of that. And then secondly, it stood out to me what you said about Mania being the end of stories of chapters. To me, it's very much akin to our favorite television shows that we watch. Mm-hmm. WrestleMania is the end of the season, of season 1, of season 2, of season 3. We want to finish those stories at Mania. And then the Raw after Mania, which is always a big deal, the Backlash pay-per-view, that should be the beginning of new stories, of new feuds, the building of new rivalries. So I'm right there with you, B, that WrestleMania should be the end of that. And it's unfortunate that we may not get that this year, but I'm not totally sold that Cody doesn't leave Philly with the gold. I think that there could still be something in the works. The boos could be so loud that they know what time it is and they give the American Nightmare his moment. We'll see what happens.
There's 60 days. So part of me is like, just relax. This was probably the intention.
Definitely.
Let's get everybody super pissed off about this.
Yes.
But by doing that, it takes the heat off of McMahon, which
it does.
We shouldn't. and it generates a ton of buzz. We Want Cody was trending worldwide, and we can look at it that as a negative, but Cody Rhodes is as popular as he's ever been because of that. So they got people in, was it Newark yesterday? I can't remember where it was. The live event were booing The Rock. They're booing The Rock. That's
wild.
that's crazy to me.
Wild. The man could run for president today
Yeah.
and win the
Yeah.
election in November. I'm certain of it. The Rock, that is. Probably Cody too. I don't know if that's a sign of how over those guys are or the state of our politics in the US, but neither here nor there. It's probably a little bit of both, frankly. The Rock could definitely the Rock would easily win.
The only thing that I would demand is that Cody would be wearing suits for all of it, but for his swearing in, he has to wear the robe.
Yes,
I want him coming out of the Cody Vader for the inauguration.
I'm good with it. I think both of those guys could have a future in politics if they wanted to. Honestly, maybe that's another episode. But
the new national anthem, Adrenaline Myself.
Yeah.
You can hear whoa-wows coming from high school campuses across the land.
We just
it would unite us.
The whole a whole presidential.
That's how to save America, right there. That would unify and unite us. Cody Rhodes.
It just might.
Or it could be an American nightmare. Tyler, my question for you, because there's only really one conversation I want to get into here. It's very simple. Bayley finally got jumped by Damage Control, but she was ready. Not only did she pick up some Japanese from hearing the trash talk behind her back, for months now from Damage Control, but she had a pipe ready to go on the side of the ring. She must have known, so they're going to kick my ass and they're going to bring me over to this corner. So I'll just be ready for a pipe. That part got me. That always gets me where it's like, does she have one in every corner in case they beat her ass to any of the corners? Because how would she know there's a pipe? Anyway,
it was brilliant.
I loved it that she pulled that out and then just started just whooping on him, and then challenges EO for the championship at WrestleMania. Now, before I get into the question, I do want to point out that I saw all over the timeline yesterday. I knew it. She was wearing white. And you know what I sent you to the group chat? I remembered. I knew exactly what it was. It had nothing to do with it whatsoever. Bayley wearing white is how she debuted in Damage Control. It's how she started it. So it had nothing to, it was not she's a face that she's wearing white. So that's how we know. Nah, she wore white when she was maximum heel when she came back. And they had that standoff with a very injured Becky Lynch coming to Bianca's side, which was effectively, I think that was Becky's face turn, right? Like that was the moment where she finally turned off the big time Bex and went back to the man.
Yeah.
But she was wearing all white for that moment. Now, that aside, how do we feel about this, Tyler? Like, how do you feel about it? Because unfortunately, the best story going, in my opinion, in the WWE was this Bayley Damage Control tension and the breaking up of Damage Control as Bayley slowly turns babyface again. Got swallowed by the Cody Rock stuff, unfortunately. So I just want to know your thoughts on all of it. The Bayley turn, the Damage Control turn, what's next, how you feel about being eaten up by the Cody Rock stuff, your thoughts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll start with the latter. So I think it was unfortunate that everything on SmackDown was overshadowed. Elektra Lopez was awesome. Obviously, Bayley and EO, Damage Control, splintering. Yeah, Tiffany Stratton. Yeah, the women's division is just so incredibly talented there. All of it, of course, got overshadowed by the end of SmackDown, which I think is very unfortunate, but predictable at the same time. I thought that this dissension was going to simmer for a few more weeks. I thought Dakota Kai would be involved.
So did I.
Yeah, but I think the way they played this was actually perfect, that Dakota wasn't there. So ostensibly, we don't know where she stands. You would think she's going with Damage Control, but they might swerve us and maybe she aligns with Bayley. Exactly, Brad. Who knows? That's why we got to tune in on Friday. I love it. I know I predicted Jade to win the Rumble, but I'm so happy I was wrong and that Bayley got her moment. This is so huge for her. A, I didn't realize that she hadn't won a Rumble. And B, I think, well, there's that. And then B, I also didn't realize that this is going to be her first singles match at a WrestleMania.
Mm.
And this has been a face of your women's division for years and years and
Yeah.
years. I think this is great. I thought the segment was awesome. I did not realize the white wardrobe. She looked amazing, first of all.
Yeah.
I did not realize the background of it, but you pointing that out, that SummerSlam callback, so good. Makes me love the segment even more. If we can flip to the other side of the coin, I'm also super excited for Io Sky. What a
Yes.
run she's
Great
had.
call. Great
What a
call.
run she's had with
Yes.
this belt. Whether it's in Puerto Rico, whether it's in these United States, she is over. And I'm so happy that she's going to walk into Philly as champ. Now, I definitely think she's dropping the belt to Bayley at Mania. I think this is the end of the run. But I'm
Right.
so happy that she was not, Io, that is, pronouns, pal. She was not a transitional champion. The fact that she held gold, she had great matches along the way, and it's presumably it's ending with this this grudge match. Chef's kiss, man. I love the segment. I love that they're going to get their moment. I don't think it's going to main event night one of Mania, but I think it's going to get the spotlight that it deserves. I loved everything about it. How about you?
Same for me. I loved everything about it. I thought they played it, I don't want to say perfectly, because I like you, I would have liked to seen it happen a little closer to Mania, because I mean 2 months is
We got a lot of tag matches, I think, in the future.
Unfortunately,
trios match or two.
Unfortunately, that's true, but it also makes me go, all right, well, Dakota Kai seems like an obvious choice to side with Bayley. I don't know if it'll happen right away. I think that's what the story will be. And maybe we even get like a beatdown for a while before they come back. Maybe they treat it like the Kevin Owens Jericho feud, where KO beat the crap out of Jericho and he was gone for basically until they had their match at WrestleMania, where KO won, took the US title, I think.
Yeah, and then he went in the back, and Vince was disappointed with the performance. I think that was that night, right? And that really bothered Owens. I think I remember seeing that on like a 24/7 or some special.
Yeah, they were really disappointed with the match, which was a pretty good match, I thought. And they also didn't get to be in the prime spots at Mania, and it was the best story in WWE, and arguably I think that time was probably the only story in WWE. But yeah, it's one of those things. That was a dark period for that time, though. The list was like the only really good thing happening, I feel, consistently anyway.
No, that was probably the same show as Roman versus Triple H main eventing.
I'm
that.
sure. Yeah.
It's not the Jerry World show.
Yeah. So if they do something like that, where she gets beat up and she's like, oh, my leg, my knee, whatever, and she's gone for a week or two, and then shows up to lay a beating down on Damage Control right before Mania, then we go into Mania with her having momentum, and that's probably what I would like to see out of that. I don't know what'll happen. I don't know. I'm hoping that they don't keep adding people to Damage Control. My fear is that, like, oh look, Julia's available. She's Japanese. Let's put her in with Damage Control. I'm afraid that that'll happen. I don't think it will, but I'm afraid that there's a possibility there, because let's face it, there's still some blinders over there. Yeah, I don't know. I loved all of this. I love it for Bayley. I love Bayley. I love all the talent involved. Huge Asuka fan. So seeing that, and Kyrie's incredible. Still one of my favorite moments from the Rumble was Kyrie hanging on. Her 1 foot touched, and then she kept the other one up. She's like trying to get back up.
And all the content that was inspired by that, all the memes and
the Spider-Man train meme.
Spider-Man, yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, pretty great. So I'm really happy for them. Want to see more. Felt like it was a little early, but it's making me wonder what's going to go on with Dakota Kai going forward. So excited to see what happens.
Yeah, definitely. Well, it's definitely WrestleMania season, Brad. Speaking of seasons, this is our first show of February, which means it's almost spring. We want you to check out our latest sponsor, Grand Patio, to make sure you are all set for the great weather and great memories that await. For over 20 years, Grand Patio has partnered with renowned designers to create collections that are equal parts luxurious and livable. The kind that can transform your backyard into a personal oasis. Their products include umbrellas, recliners, gazebos, sectionals, and much more. Visit our affiliate link, grandpatio.sjv.io/GIPod to shop their collection today. And Brad, we're going to roll, right? Speaking of patios and memories and conversations, we're going to roll right in to a rose from me. Hit the music.
And now, for a rose from GI's most eligible bachelor.
All right, my friend, I'm going to try to keep my notes brief and then hit you with my question. Daisy, first of all, Joey is absolutely over like Rover, Brad. I've even asked fellow Bachelor Nation members in my life, predominantly women, that is, of different backgrounds and ages. They are all for Joey. So shout out to him. He is just a huge approval rating right now, and I hope that continues for his sake. But onto the women of his season. Daisy from Minnesota is still a front runner. Maria and Medina got into an argument this week, Brad, over being two of the eldest castmates. In summary, Medina is 31. Maria, I believe, is 28 or 29. But Medina, the 31-year-old, is feeling a bit insecure. And then, I know I'm getting us lost. Maria said, "Hey, I'm old too. Why are you upset?" Medina was in her feelings about it. So who's the heel here? Why does this even matter? It was a whole thing this week. Rachel, a nurse from Hawaii, is emerging as a front runner. Lexi, one of my initial top 3 picks, is still here. And Lauren, this is getting into my question for you. Lauren, the older sister from Philly, went home. Her younger sister's there, but Lauren sort of self-eliminated. Is there any world back in the day in which you and your older brother Brian would ever go on a show like this together? I think you and I have spoken. I forget if it was on air or off air. I think you would be down for, say, The Amazing Race, but there's no chance you two would go on a dating show together. Is that factual? What are your thoughts?
0%. Yeah, if less than that.
Even for The Amazing Race?
0%. Less than that. No, we wouldn't ever do anything like that. We're not close like that. We would end up killing each other. On
this could bring you guys closer, though. That's what I'm.
Yes, or I throw him off of an airplane. Like,
shout out to Brian, man. Shout out to Brian.
We are very, very different people, and we're much closer than we have. We were when we were younger. But I also think we don't hang out. I live 2,000 miles away from him. I talk to him kind of infrequently, less than I would like, and that's as much my fault as it is anybody's. But to go on a show where we're competing against other people together, maybe it would work. I just don't know.
Maybe you should call each other a little more often before you.
I'm thinking before we book a months long thing together where we have to travel the globe after we've been in the same room together once in the last 3 years is probably not I'm gonna say no, Tyler, to doing that. I don't even know if I would want to do that with my family, my immediate family. I don't think Jess and I are doing any of these competitions.
That's a good decision. That's a healthy decision. I'm always so curious because as an only child, I don't know what the sibling life is like at all. I think you're right on the money. Taking as much precaution as possible. I'm not mad at that call. I'm really not.
Well, Tyler, I am mad at Vince McMahon, and I'm going to continue to bring that up as my transition because F that guy. Just terrible human being, allegedly. Anyway, I saw you booking in the 90s and 2000s and the 80s. He's a terrible guy. Okay. Let's get into AEW talk. Hit me with your question.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this. It's official. Deonna Purrazzo and Timeless Tony are squaring off at Revolution. You broke the news to me about this next one. Brian Keith is all elite.
Let's go.
I just discovered this guy since he appeared on AEW TV, where I absolutely love the character, love his work. So happy for him. Let's go indeed. However, I want to ask you about this week. Dynamite, Rampage, they're returning to the most magical place on earth. No, not Long Island. We're talking about Phoenix, Arizona. It's a loaded card too. Brad, you and
Yeah,
I
it is.
attended last year. It was an experience. We'll say there were some highs, there were some lows. This card seems far superior to what we saw last year. Here's my question: how confident are you that Sting and Darby Allin are leaving the Valley with tag gold?
I'm going to say 50-50. I can see Sting winning gold. I could see Tony Khan going like, we want him to have gold before he's done. I could see that. And then what does it do? It reestablishes heel Young Bucks when they beat them in Sting's last match, which would be amazing.
That's got to be the move, right?
It has to be the move. Because them ruining Sting's last match would be amazing. I'm just saying, like, and I'm sure Sting would be all for it because he's gotten all of this stuff. His first loss is against the Young Bucks in his last match ever. Maybe he goes, nope, I got to have one more. I don't know what happens there, but if he's going to have a last match and they're tag champs, they either have to put them up for grabs and they make a tournament out of it, or the Bucks challenge Sting and Darby, who are tag team champions at that moment. I'd be fine with either one. I could see them losing, but then you're going, Sting lost before his last match. Has he lost anything yet?
No, undefeated.
So do you want that loss to happen before his last match or at his last match, or neither of those things? He just goes undefeated. So like, I can see it happening so that going into Revolution, he has gold and he can say he was a champion again before he retires. And I think that's probably the appropriate championship for him to have at this stage in his career. He shouldn't be world champ. I don't think he should be TNT champ, the championship that's meant to build people, which is why, people bury, I saw people burying Christian going like, this is supposed to build people, not take them down. I'm like, Nick Wayne's on TV all the time. Luchasaurus is on TV all the time. Well, I don't think he's burying anybody here.
No. And
Daniel Garcia's on TV.
Thank you. Not to mention if Daniel Garcia is the guy.
Oh, hey, spoilers.
Okay.
I got a question for you.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna lay
coming
out.
up here.
I'm gonna lay out. I got you.
Okay. Let's get to the question. I don't need to stop you. I just need you to stop you from that line of thinking, or we're effed for the question. So, yeah, man, I think I'm going to say 50-50. I'm sad I'm not going to be able to go.
We're going to miss you.
Because I really didn't want to go at all. And then I saw the card and I don't have any sick time. So there's no chance that I can get up there.
It's hard, man.
Yeah.
There's like an alternate world in which they would go to Tucson. I would still be living in Tucson, and then it would be no question. But it's on a Wednesday. It's hard, man.
Yeah, if it was a collision, I'd be there.
Yes,
in a heartbeat. I wish it was a collision.
Imagine collision at TCC.
But dude, like, there's so much good stuff. The big announcement.
I know.
You're going and you're going to get to see Sasha Banks, man. You're getting Mercedes Moné live and in the flesh.
I sure hope you're right.
I'm going to be sitting here crying.
We got. I know. See, and this is why I didn't want to make it worse for you. But I'm going to say this: Swerve versus Hanger, CMLL versus BCC.
All right, check. If you have a seat, if you check the ticket thing and there's a seat next to you, you let me know.
And we got better seats too this time. We're actually on the floor, and somehow I think they ended up being cheaper than our seats last year. It was a whole thing. They've really figured it out. They've improved the process. They've improved the card.
Well, check Ticketmaster, and if there's a seat nearby, let me know.
I got you.
I'll just quit.
I agree with you though. To put a bow on it, man. I love me some Ricky Starks and Big Bill. I don't know what's next for them after this. I hope it's something good. They could easily stay a team. They could easily go their singles routes and be uber successful. But I agree with you, B. I think I would even put my odds at 90%. It's Sting and Darby. I know there was a tease of maybe the Young Bucks interfering in some way, but I think the move is Sting and Darby leaving with gold, 100%.
Okay, gold. Now we're going to talk about it. Now it's okay to jump in. My question's pretty simple. DG's been all over the place with FTR, which I think is a great grouping because it doesn't sort of eat his persona the way that Jericho's group did. We're getting Daniel Garcia coming out and being Daniel Garcia. In fact, FTR being Daniel Garcia, which was haunting to watch. But we also got to see, I don't know if it's the biggest or the best or anything like that, but that was a pretty crazy suicide dive by old Cash Wheeler there. That's a lot of person shooting through those ropes at that speed. And I don't know that anybody else other than Luchasaurus could have taken that in that match. If he would have hit Nick Wayne's body would have been 2 blocks away. So pretty remarkable. But Daniel Garcia getting the pin, getting the win in a counter, in a wrestling move, which was great, was absolutely awesome. I love that match. That main event was fun. Daniel Garcia is getting his push finally after his momentum died a few years back. Is DG the guy to take the TNT title? Is he the one?
100%. Absolutely. I don't know that it happens at Revolution because we'll have this conversation on a future episode. I think Swerve is leaving North Carolina with that world championship.
Agreed.
Do you change the TNT Gold on the same night? Am I overthinking booking? Daniel Garcia is the guy, whether it happens in March or on a Dynamite or at a later time on a Collision. I think we found the guy, Brad, to your point a few minutes ago about Christian Cage and, the importance of the TNT belt, especially making someone new, Christian helping build someone new. It's Garcia's time. I don't think he can afford another loss in a big moment. Like you said, we've seen him super, super hot and then cool down to a large extent. This is the time to crown DG. He's the guy, Brad. We found him.
I'm trying to figure out what's this month or what's next month in terms of AEW's usual programming. I can't remember when Fight for the Fallen is. I can't remember when any of that stuff is.
Oh, yeah.
We have
over
that
the summer, right?
Yeah, I think so. But we have that St. Patrick's Day Slam or whatever it was called.
That could be the one.
That could be the one. Or
that could
they
be
just
it.
throw another Battle of the Belts in there, which I would not enjoy unless it's live.
It never records for me. I always forget it's a separate property.
Yes, it's crazy.
So the last 6 Battle of the Belts, your man hasn't seen them.
I've only missed one because I watched the other ones live. So I've only missed one or two, maybe 2. But man, I don't know, because we also have it's February. We also have one Will Ospreay showing up soon. So we got a lot going on.
Wow.
There you might have a crazy night in Pheonix, which is why I'm trying to figure out how to get in there and
I'm trying to also look out for your feelings, Brad, but I'm really excited that this yes. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
God damn it. I'm going to be sitting by myself up in the nosebleeds, aren't I? I don't have anything to add. Daniel Garcia should win. I'm just pissed now.
No, he's him, man.
I don't know. Now I'm sad.
Is there a transition? We got another.
Yes, I feel like I'm in a deep hole. And speaking of digging into deep holes, God, this sounds bad. You know what? F it. Let's digging deeper. Let's look for buried treasure. Play the damn music. I have no way out of this, man. I'm just depressed. I got a Ticketmaster tab open now.
No, you don't.
I absolutely have one open right now.
Oh man, life comes at you fast. Yeah.
Oh man, I'm sad. Okay, All Elite Wrestling. Click that. Okay. So on the Curse of Oak Island this week, Tyler, they missed their money pit target. They were drilling down, looking for it. They missed it, but not by much. What they pulled up were some chunks of wood, and they believe they found some collapsed area, an area that, long story short, this guy named Chappell was drilling and found a something, doesn't really know what it is, with a concrete layer on the top and then wood below. And when he drilled through it, this is back in like the late 1800s, I want to say, the drill bit came up with a piece of chain, gold chain on it. So they know that there's treasure down there. What they also think, they might have found it directly, and they put down a like 24-inch wide case on, or maybe bigger, basically a metal tube all the way down. They think they hit it, but it didn't carve into it. It just pushed it down further into the dirt. and pushed it out of the way. So they haven't been able to get into that. They can't really pinpoint it yet. They're still working on trying to find it. So you miss by a foot, you miss by a mile kind of situation. In the circular area, I don't know what else to call it, the stone circle area that is definitely structures, they're finding edges of an old kind of area that they're not even sure what it is yet. The structure keeps getting bigger. They found coins there this week, a flat tapered coin, which is usually very old coin. And next week promises to give all kinds of results. And it seems very, very likely that they're going to be on some of the treasure, if nothing else. Pretty exciting. They're closer than they've ever been. And I had a question for you, and I've forgotten it. So here goes. I wrote it down, and I wrote question in all caps to remember to write the question.
I'm sure you did.
And then I don't know, what timer went off, and my pot pie was ready to eat, and then I lost the question. So is there a point in your life where you felt like you were this close from accomplishing something, but then the next day you feel like you're this close, and the next month you feel like you're this close, and it just sort of keeps going? Have you ever experienced this, Tyler?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know that I've told you this, or very many people this, but getting my teacher certification was very much that. So I had a hard time passing the exams needed, because when I was in school I was studying journalism, but then discovered I wanted to be a teacher, and you have to pass certain exams before you can get into the classroom and become officially certified. So I'm going to confess this on air, Brad, when it came to my content knowledge exam, I think I ended up getting like 2 points over the minimum requirement to be a certified secondary English teacher in the state of Arizona. So I thought to myself, like, legitimately, if I missed one more question on that exam, I might be selling shoes. I don't know what I would be doing right now, Brad. It was close. There were a lot of hurdles to get there. So it was actually kind of like, it worked out for me, where I felt like I was this close and then I was this far. But I would say becoming a teacher and passing those needed exams were probably the best example I can think of.
Right now, I feel like I'm this close to getting these tickets. Row 20, section 107, $30.
See, that better price than last time, right?
Yes. Yeah, I'm looking at 102 right now. Let's see. Where do we got? Ooh, that's pretty nice. Okay, 102,
I can't believe
19C5.
You got to bring Alf. What's Ben doing that night?
Yeah, I might have to. Let's see if I can convince him to go.
I think you can.
Those are a little bit steeper than what I would like to pay. Those are $90. This is live on air, and I love it. Live on air for a recorded show. Live in my head, I'm watching this. I'm looking at the map. What's the best spot?
See, I think the question you asked me, your current predicament is your answer right now.
It is
trying to get to the Footprint Center for a loaded Dynamite.
I feel like I have to be there now. Maybe I can convince Jess.
I think the show is going to be awesome.
Me, Jess,
I would love to. We would love to see you there. Shout out to George. Shout out to my homie Dominic at work. Shout out to my pops. It's his birthday today, actually.
Happy birthday!
Yeah. He doesn't.
Amazing.
We got tickets yet, but yeah, we're gonna be.
There. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, we're gonna be up. Yeah, we're gonna be there.
Okay, let's see if I can get these seats. Okay. For 1, 2, 3, 3 seats. Not bad. $215.
With tax and facility fees.
Let's see what it is. Everybody. Let's find out how much it is. And then we'll get back to the show here with what did we miss? Oh, it's making me log in. That's unfair. All right, I'm not doing this. I'm out. Too much.
See, you were that close, and then just like digging deeper.
I can tell you what I'm gonna miss this week. Likely AEW Dynamite Live from Pheonix.
Is it my turn?
Yeah. I asked that. I had to ask George if he was going there because I hadn't heard from him. And he is in fact going.
Yeah, I can confirm that. Okay, well, what did we miss? This is like the saddest ending to a show that we've had in a minute, but also reason to be hopeful too, because I think we're going to get good grabs this week. Anyway, Brad, what did we miss? Admittedly, I have not watched yet, but I do know that Love in WWE, Bianca and Montez is now available on Hulu. I'm excited to see that. Montez Ford has been busy. He dropped an 8-track hip hop album entitled God is Good on Spotify. I was listening to a few songs. Really enjoyable. It went pretty hard. And then finally, it's Super Bowl Sunday. Usher, Brock Purdy, Pat Mahomes, Taylor and Travis, which I was wrong about, Brad. I think you may recall I predicted that they would be split by this time in the season. I did not think Kansas City was going to make it to the big dance. Here they are. I'm predicting that we get a proposal if Kansas City wins midfield. I think Travis Kelce gets on one knee and proposes to Taylor Swift, and the internet officially breaks.
You're predicting this a week away from the game?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
I want us to have this clip ready to go this time next week. Like,
what if they lose?
If they lose, it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
No. But if they win, the internet will be broken. Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce, Engagement City.
Do you think Taylor Swift was good for Super Bowl parties in the Super Bowl game?
100%.
Yes. I totally agree.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get the hate. Who cares? How does this affect you?
The biggest number in Super Bowl history. It's going to be madness.
Millionaires doing millionaire things is surprising to lots of football fans somehow. and these MFs are the ones that vote for the most millionaire of millionaires.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and if Kansas City wins, let's not blame. If Kansas City loses, I should say, let's not blame Taylor. There's some weird, like, patriarchy. I know, like, let's keep patriarchy to AEW TV as a storyline. Let's not practice it in real life. If Kansas City loses, let's not point the finger at the biggest pop star in the world. Please and thank you. Yeah, we'll be okay.
That's all I got, man.
Now, this was a beautiful, busy episode of GI. As a reminder, you can find our articles on wrestling, pop culture, and more by visiting gimmickinfringementpod.com. In fact, my amazing co-host has a new piece on there right now entitled Choice. Highly recommend you check it out. You know Brad doesn't miss, and I think you'll really enjoy this latest article.
Appreciate that.
You can also follow us on X at GIPod19. Of course, we're also on Instagram and Facebook. Search Gimmick Infringement. We thank you for being here, and we hope you'll join us again for the next edition of GI. Gimmick Infringement is a part of 19 Media Group. You can listen to us on Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or wherever you find podcasts. You can also find us on YouTube via the 19 Media Group channel. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share.